They did everything they could to force me out. So I stayed. I'm going to tell you the story of how I survived when the whole office wanted me gone, and I stayed anyway. It all started when I was transferred into a team. Now, I had a great track record. I was high-performing and always finished my work ahead of schedule. But here's the thing. Right before my arrival, the company brought in a new boss, which meant everyone in the department had to report to someone new. This guy had been promoted from within the company. He'd been there for years and everyone knew him. They'd already had a close relationship with each other. And when I joined the group, I became the outsider. At first, I thought it was just going to take some time for me to get integrated. A few months and we'll all be chit-chatting by the water cooler. But instead, they gave me the silent treatment. Literally, no one messaged me outside of work. No one invited me to lunch. No one even replied to my emails. It was as if I wasn't there, and I couldn't understand why. Now, usually when I start a new job, I give it 6 months to a year before I make any major decisions. That way I can assess whether or not it's the right fit and decide if I should stay or go. But this experience took a toll on me.
Oh.
I felt isolated and demoralized. On top of that, people were spreading rumors about me behind my back. I could hear them talking in hushed voices and giggling whenever I passed by. They called me the new boss's spy. Apparently I was there to watch them and report back to our boss. Like what? Did they really think I was a spy? Look, I'm not going to lie. I considered quitting. Seriously, I spent days thinking about it. I went over every detail, analyzing my options. Should I stay and try to make it work? Or should I cut my losses and move on? But ultimately, I decided to stay. And let me tell you, it was the best decision I ever made. Because here's what happened next. The company was working on a very important project with a major client. We were under a lot of pressure to deliver and the stakes were high. I put my head down and worked really hard. I was determined to prove myself and show them what I was capable of. I worked day and night, sacrificing my time and putting the project first. I didn't care about anything else. All that mattered was delivering results, and guess what? Our team met the deadline, and we blew it out of the water. Delivered exceptional work that impressed the client, and it was a huge success. The client loved it and praised us for our efforts. Up until that point, I hadn't said much. I kept my head down and focused on my work. But after we won that project, I saw a change in how people treated me. It was like a switch had flipped. For the first time, they acknowledged my contributions. They started asking for my input and valuing my opinions. They praised my hard work and dedication. I remember one team member coming up to me and saying, "Wow, I didn't realize you were working so hard. You're an asset to this team." Another person said, "I'm sorry I didn't welcome you to the team earlier. You deserve to be here." Their words were a shock to me. They finally recognized me as a colleague, someone who deserved respect and recognition. That's when I realized something very important. You don't need to be liked to survive, just undeniable. Let me explain. In the workplace, people often focus too much on building relationships and trying to be liked by their colleagues. They think that being well-liked will lead to success and job security, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's more important to focus on being respected and valued for your work rather than trying to be everyone's friend. Think about it. When you're in a professional setting, you're there to do a job. Your primary responsibility is to perform to the best of your abilities and contribute to the team's goals. Building relationships can be beneficial, but it shouldn't be the main priority. Instead, you should prioritize delivering high-quality work, meeting deadlines, and solving problems. When you consistently perform at a high level, you establish yourself as a valuable asset to the team. People will notice your contributions and respect you for what you bring to the table. Of course, it's also important to be a good teammate and maintain a positive attitude. You should be willing to help others and contribute to a positive work environment. However, this should not come at the expense of your own work. It's possible to be a supportive colleague while still prioritizing your responsibilities. Now let me share a personal experience with you. Early in my career, I made the mistake of prioritizing relationships over my work. I thought that if I got along well with my colleagues and made an effort to socialize with them, everything else would fall into place. But I soon realized that this was not the case. My work started to suffer, and I began to feel unhappy and unfulfilled in my job. Then I shifted my focus. I began to prioritize my work and treat my colleagues with respect and professionalism. I was still friendly, but but I didn't go out of my way to build close relationships. And guess what happened? My career started to take off. I was promoted several times and received numerous awards for my work. I learned that while relationships are important, they shouldn't be the main focus in the workplace. Prioritizing my work and being respected for my skills and accomplishments brought me much greater success and job satisfaction. Being respected and valued for your work can lead to better opportunities and career advancement. When you are known for your high-quality work, you may be considered for promotions, raises, and other forms of recognition. Additionally, being respected in the workplace can help you build your professional reputation and open doors for future opportunities. When you have a strong reputation as a reliable and talented worker, people will be more likely to recommend you for jobs or projects outside of your current organization. There's a famous quote that says, "You don't need friends. You need an army of allies." This means that instead of trying to build friendships with everyone in the workplace, you should focus on building alliances with people who share similar values and goals. These alliances can provide you with support and resources to achieve your professional objectives. For example, you might form an alliance with a colleague who has expertise in an area where you lack skills. By working together, you can accomplish more than you could have done individually. So here's what I want you to take away from this video. Don't waste time trying to be liked by everyone in the workplace. Instead, focus on delivering exceptional results and building alliances with those who share your goals. When you become undeniable, you will earn respect and recognition for your work. Trust me, that will take you much further in your career than popularity ever will. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a situation where you were the new person in a group and faced challenges being accepted? How did you handle it? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It will mean the world to me. Thanks for watching. Thanks you later.